What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Well, it's another day. It's a new day. And it's some new Big U stories. I have a feeling this Big U thing is gonna last a while. There's gonna be a lot of content creators, a lot of new platforms will probably even form because of this. Especially out of the Los Angeles area. I want to say something. I have some stuff written down right here that I'm going to talk about that's already been posted. And so the first one is that, so now, you see the thumbnail. And I'm asking a question. I didn't put the question mark on there, but I'm asking the question. So is Big U now the new Suge Knight, the Boogeyman of the West Coast? I remember a few years back when Big U was saying, and other people around him were saying, and it was on social media, that had Big U not gotten incarcerated when he did, there would have never been a death row. That it would have been Big U doing all that. And I have to say this. Prior to Big U's incarceration, he didn't do what Suge Knight did. I don't know. I'm sure he had the power. He had the manpower. Because back then, facts, as far as black gangs, LA County was Crip, blue. There was very few Bloods, down as fuck. The ones that were down as hell. But LA was as far as black gangs, the Crips had it pretty much dominated, right? So Big U would have had the manpower. He would have had enough people to do what he wants, but he didn't put the plan in motion. See, it's easy to say after the fact, yeah, I could have did what he did, but you didn't do it before he did it because you didn't have that vision. And Big U sat in prison and saw what Suge Knight was doing, and he knew, and it was a fact. Man, I had more homies I could have had do this, and I could have had do that, and I could have locked this down, and I could have locked that down, but you didn't have the idea. You didn't have the vision. Now, Big U gets out. He gets out of prison and he gets involved in whatever he gets involved in, whether it's legal, illegal. It's not really, I'm not gonna get into all that. I'll let these other platforms get into all that. I'll discuss certain things as they unfold and I'll do it from my perspective, the way that I do it. Each content creator puts out the content how they see fit and what they're with in a way that they're comfortable with. I definitely do. Okay. So I was sent something yesterday and it said that Big U was just extorting everybody. He was just the extortionist. It says Big U attempted to extort Adrian Broner because Adrian Broner hit some guys for over 1.5 million in a dice game or in dice games. Who's walking around with that kind of cash where he can just hit you that for that much and walk away? That seems pretty far-fetched to me. But it's out there. And I would assume it's probably part of the indictment. Okay? And it also says Big U wanted to tax NBA players $100,000 a pop to check in and get protection in LA. Again, I assume this is part of the indictment. I hope that more content creators will be more responsible. I don't know how many of these guys that are pushing this content have actually been indicted. I was hit with a grand jury indictment. I know for a fact, from personal experience, mainstream media is absolutely no different than the National Enquirer. They will throw stuff in there like, Just get them to buy the damn thing. Just get them to read the damn thing. Just get them to open this up. Just get them to click. And so they'll make the story more sensational than it really is. The feds want to paint a picture of Big U that is more favorable to their case. Again, you know, there's a lot of lames on YouTube that talk about my case. Talk about I killed an innocent man and this and that. The dude was from my neighborhood. The guy that I killed was from my neighborhood. My barrio. Just claimed a different clique that was no longer really doing anything. Came to us 3 times with friends, a whole carload of them. The 3rd time they came on foot with weapons. But see, the DA didn't fit the DA's case to put all that in there. But it was brought up. And a lot of these lames that hate on me, no, they like the cops version and the DA's version. And so for the content creators that are going to be presenting stuff regarding this Big U indictment, this indictment of these individuals from 60s, and who knows if they got other dudes from the, from neighborhood Crips, whatever. Please be responsible and say this is what the feds are claiming, because Big U's attorney is going to say something opposite. I find it strange, because I have been involved in a lot of very serious stuff in life, to where when you get something put on the table, you better pick that thing up, look at it from every damn angle possible, listen to anything that can be attributed to this thing that's on the table before you, and then make a decision, right? And you better be right in it. So we have the feds saying that Big U is the leader of the Crips. The Crips don't have a leader. The Crips have never had a leader. Ever. Tookie, rest in peace, was not the leader of the Crips. That's what the cops wanted you to think. One of the founders, a founder is different than a leader. Raymond Washington, he was not the leader of the Crips. A founder is different than a leader. The Crips do not have a leader. The 60s don't have a leader. But you see how the case is not as strong if Big U is not the leader. And then we have Whack 100 went off the other day. It's on the internet, and all I'm saying is listen to what's being said. The people that hate you, really pay attention. Whack 100 said that Big U no longer had foot soldiers, that Big U no longer had muscle, that Big U no longer had anyone willing to crash out for him, so he was utilizing squares. Well, damn. Whack 100 is saying, in other words, Big U wasn't a leader. Pay attention. Listen to what's being said and what isn't being said. Put it together. Big U didn't have a bunch of Crips behind him then. According to Whack 100, Whack 100 is the streets, according to Whack 100. Whack 100 has the tapes. Whack 100's ear is to every single street, alleyway, dope spot, trap house, whatever it is. Whack 100's ear is right there. He's got people letting him know what's going on here, there, everywhere. And Whack 100 said Big U no longer had soldiers. Well, shit. Hopefully Big U's attorney is going to call Whack 100 to the stand and repeat that. That's very helpful. And then the flip side of what Whack had to say, you had this dude 600 wearing badges. He's trolling, of course. But he's the only content creator right now that is, his eyes light up. His face lights up. He gets the biggest smiles on his face that we've seen since he's been on YouTube. when he's talking about the incarceration of Big U. That says a lot. Big U did something to that individual's brain and heart. For that man, that individual, to be that happy that the cops took that black man down. I remember after the riot happened in Pelican Bay in 2000, there was an OG black dude. I used to talk to the dude a lot prior to the riot, man. I liked the dude. He got hit in the riot. He got hit really bad. I was glad to see him make it through, come back to our unit. And I remember he came back to the unit. He had gone to the outside hospital and he came back to the unit. I want to say about a week and a half after the riot. They put him back in the same cell and he came back and he had a tube sticking out of his chest because his lungs had been collapsed. I was upstairs. My cell was next to the shower. As he went past my cell, he looked at me. He was like, because on the other side of the shower was an OG black by the name of Prince. Prince had been down about 42 years already. I believe Prince was from Louisiana somewhere. So this OG, who happened to be like in his 50s, I'll say his name. His name was Bakari. Bakari gave me a head nod and he slid a kite under my door. In the kite, Bakari said, a lot of these youngsters ran and left me. And he said, I'll be damned if I run. I'd rather die on my feet. He said, a lot of these same youngsters are celebrating that a K9 killed one of your people. Because remember, Sharky was killed by a cop, shot here in his cheekbone and it blew the back of his head out. And Bakari said, I'll be damned if I celebrate a K9 killing a convict. And this is part of why I always respected that man, Bakari. Hopefully Bakari's still around. Back then he was already in his 50s. That was in 2000. And I bring that up because when I see how happy 600 is that Big U got taken down, not by him, but by the cops, he's celebrating what the feds are doing. He's celebrating what the cops are doing. I don't know what Big U was involved in. I don't know what he wasn't involved in. My platform is never going to be to solve crime. My platform will be a glimpse at the treachery, at the hypocrisy. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out in the days and weeks and the months upcoming. I will always give you the content according to my life experience and my perception. And never, ever am I going to celebrate Big U getting took down because of clout chasers on the internet and a platform that I believe is a Fed program. There might be a few, if you think about it. It's a damn shame the way social media is taking people down. But you know what? At the end of the day, if people would stop doing this and do more of this, the cops can't build a case on you. Cops got to go back to old school footwork, the grind. But see, for all these dudes who are not a factor in the streets they claim, the hoods they claim, the cities they supposedly represent, Those that ain't a factor there, can't impress nobody from there, they get them little face tattoos, little neck tattoos, and they get on the internet and they create a character and they try to tear down the people that they wish they could have been. They build the cases for the feds. They build the cases for the authorities. And along the way, because they had to build a character, they incriminate themselves. Loose cannon that we know is not the real loose cannon. Shout out to Street TV. Shout out to Alex Alonso. Go over there and check out Street TV. Check out Alex Alonso. Type in the real loose cannon. There's a loose cannon that's been around for a very long time. And we don't know too much about him, right? Because that's how it's supposed to be. Instead, we know about this other dude who attached himself to crimes because he had to build up who he was with his mouth. See, real gangsters, they build up their reputation through their work, not through their mouth. Nobody's impressed with words, not in that life. So Big U, I'm going to say he's going to get 10 years. I'm going to put it out there. My prediction, he's going to get 10 years. I don't think he's going to beat the case. I think there's too much working against him. I think there are going to be too many people willing to cooperate against him. And so I think he's going to do some time. And I think it's going to be about 10 years. I don't think he's washed. I don't think he's washed. And it's a damn shame. But if Big U is guilty of any of this stuff, and I don't give a damn, he knows in his heart, then he's got to be like, damn, they got me. Now let me just try to beat this. Accept responsibility within your own heart and mind. And work on bettering yourself while you're there. Get to know who you really are. Get to know how to become a better version of you while you're in the worst place. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.